And Daphne, I think you can mute as we go as well.
Gotcha. Okay, it is recording. Welcome everyone to our call tonight. I am so honored and so excited to introduce my good friend Kathrine Lee. Kathrine Lee is a consultant on leadership, collaboration, and strategy. Kathrine is a business strategist and social activist. She is a 100 Club National Marketing Director for the Juice Plus Company, where she has equipped thousands of business owners to create successful franchises. In addition, Kathrine is the creator of a faith-based personal development system called The Ultimate Source, and the founder of a nonprofit called Pure Hope Foundation. Kathrine is the author of Interrupted. It's a new book. It's called Interrupted, The Joy of Mystery of a God-Directed Life, and has guided countless individuals to discover the unique design for their own lives. Interrupted tells the story of how her Juice Plus business allowed her to have the Pure Foundation. Kathrine has appeared on Oprah twice and has done a personal interview with Bear Grylls, the adventurer. He's actually got a show on right now. Kathrine says her most important role in life is being the wife to her fantastic husband, Michael, and mother to 3 fabulous children, Corinne, Logan, and Hannah. Thank you so much, Kathrine, and I'm going to leave it up to you to take it over.
Fantastic, Daphne. Well, thank you so much. And you guys are the first public announcement. My daughter just got engaged, so our family is growing, so that's really fun. Yeah, it's the most successful thing. I see people clapping, although you're muted, but thank you for celebrating with me. Yes, it's so wonderful. It is. Well, I am just going to talk a little bit tonight about my story, and that I hope weaves into your story, because that's what's important to me, is your individual stories. And so I just want to take you guys back. I mean, I want you to all think, where were you 24 years ago? Think about your age 24 years ago. Okay. 24 years ago, I signed my application with the Juice Plus Company. I am now 48, so I have lived half of my life. So this next year, I'll be with the company more years than I have been without this company. And the reason why I bring that up is, guess what, you guys? The years are going to keep going forward, right? If you think, how old are you going to be 5 years from now? Add the 5 years to your age right now. God willing, that 5 years is coming. And each day, moment to moment, the decisions that we make build the life that we create, right? So as I think about that for myself, I couldn't have told you 24 years ago where I would be today. In fact, if you would have told me where I would be today, I would have thought you were crazy, because when I first signed my Juice Plus Company application, all I wanted to do was generate $500 a month. Now, a lot of people think I was, heart motivated because they know the work I do with my nonprofit, Pure Hope Foundation. But the truth is I was money motivated. And what I mean by that is I needed to generate that $500 a month, because really, if you go down deeper, I was heart motivated. I wanted to be home with my kids. And so I want you to think tonight, where do we want to be a year from now or 5 years from now? Because we don't manage time. I get asked all the time, will you come speak at our company on time management? And I say, well, I'm sorry, I can't. There's no such thing, right? And people always give me a blank stare. There's silence on the other end of the phone. But the truth is we cannot manage time. Time ticks away. What we can manage is our choices. So I like to call it choice management. And we all, right now in our hands, have 2 things in common. Every single one of us that are listening to this tonight have 2 things in common. Number one, we all have 24 hours in a day, right? Every single one of us have 24 hours in a day. And if you're listening to this, you have the opportunity to own a franchise, or at least consider owning a franchise. And so each day to day, once I started my franchise, I had to look at my calendar and make a decision of where I was going to, I like to say, invest my time. I don't believe in spending time either, right? Because when we spend something, we might get something in return, but it just happens one time. But when we invest, it gives a return over and over and over again. And I want each of you to think about for yourselves, if you were to invest your time and your choices, meaning when you're investing time, how are you going to invest that minute and what choice are you going to make that adds up to what? And so we need to know who we are, our identity, and have a certain amount of confidence. And we need to make a difference in somebody else's lives. I really know after 24 years of working with the Juice Plus company and then working in the nonprofit field that really most every human being I've come across wants to know two things. Who am I and what am I meant to do, right? On this earth, how am I going to make an impact? And is that impact going to last? And what's so cool about the Juice Plus company is we genuinely have a way to invest in other people in a way that it will last. And I don't know what that looks like for each of you, but 5 years from now is coming, God willing. And so think about what are the action steps that you can take each week, because a lot of people will think, well, I work 40, 50 hours a week, and I don't. I never have. When I first started my Juice Plus franchise, I always worked. I want to be really clear. This is a career. It's a career to be proud of. I always worked, but I made sure that I had the opportunity to invest smart the hours that I did have to make choices and to invest in this business. So when I first started, I set aside 6 hours every week to invest in this business. And so every Sunday night or Monday morning, it was Sunday nights for a long time, I would take and make a decision about what were the steps of our business, what are the income producing activities. Write that phrase down, income producing activities, because income producing activities in our business mean you're blessing somebody. You don't do income producing activities without blessing somebody with education, information, an opportunity, that kind of a thing. And so I would look and say, okay, what are the income producing activities in our business? And you know what they are? Number one, caring about people, listening to people, caring about their life really makes a huge difference. If we go out there, if we think about our job every day is to talk with people and see if we can find out from them what their needs and desires are. So needs are something that they typically want to fix, and desires are things that they long for or want. Right? And if we can go out listening for people, talking to people, caring about people, and hear, and what most people, something they want or desire, our company can provide you guys. Most everybody wants quality of life, which is our health, right? Oh, real quick, somebody's got some loud background noise. Let's see. You're a 720 area code. You may not realize you're not muted, but if you'll mute your background noise. I know I've been on calls before and not realized I was muted in the background. So as we go out and we literally are looking and talking and listening to people, and we listen, what are their needs? What are their desires? And listen for people. I think so often we try to convince people, and many of you have probably seen my training about captivate rather than convince. We captivate with questions. We captivate with passion. That's the way we captivate people. But the questions mean we're talking about them. And if we listen to somebody, you're going to find people want to be healthy. They want to be able to go visit their grandkids. They want to be able to have time off of work to enjoy their life. All of these things take health and finances. Almost every single thing that people want take health and finances. And if they don't take health and finances, they typically they want to make a difference in the world, right? And I always tell people the best part of the Juice Plus business is you can do that as your all that. It can be your all that business, meaning it's what you do full time. You're so into health and wellness, and it's your complete passion, and it's what you love. And when I first started my Juice Plus business, it was my all that. I made that $500 a month, and then it became my sole source of income. And it was my all that, and then it became my so that. And what I mean by that is the income and the time that it allowed me to have some flexibility with the way that I had my time set up allowed me to start Pure Hope Foundation. And that I would have never have thought in a million years that having fruits and vegetables in a capsule would allow me to help restore young women that have been victimized by trafficking. In fact, today, I knew I had this call tonight, so I knew I was investing in all of you, in entrepreneurs and in business owners, which is such a privilege. And then earlier today, I literally sat and celebrated with one of our young women that was trafficked when she was 14, and she just got her GED. And we had our graduation party this afternoon, and she never thought she was going to be able to do that. And what's so cool is another Juice Plus national marketing director made a donation last month with the hope that she would get her GED, and the donation was enough to cover her going to cosmetology school. Now, who would have thought fruits and vegetables in a capsule, right, could make that kind of impact? I'm telling you guys, when I was sitting at home 20 plus years ago, trying to decide how I was going to invest those 6 hours in talking with people, caring about people, and then once I gave them information, what's the income producing activity? Talking with people, and then talking with them again, which means following up with them to see, did you have a chance to look at that? Can you come? If you can't come the first time, can you come the next time? I've met national marketing director after national marketing director and successful business owner after successful business owner in Juice Plus that said, oh yeah, the person that got me into this, they asked me 6 times, 8 times, 12 times. I mean, how many of you, right? Somebody talked to you more than one time about the product, and many, many times, often many times about the business. So be pleasantly persistent. Don't lose your passion, because when you're pleasantly persistent, meaning you still care about that person and you still care about enough about what you do to bring those two things together, and you keep your passion, people start paying attention. I can't tell you how many people have said over the years, you're still doing that Juice Plus thing, right? Like, oh, I thought you were doing Pure Hope. No, I'm still doing that Juice Plus thing because it's what allows me. I'm able to work for our nonprofit for no money. I don't take a salary and my board keeps saying, you really should take a salary, because if you ever have to leave, we're going to have to pay somebody to do what you do. Same with my husband, Michael. He's the CFO. He does all of the finances. He puts many hours into our nonprofit, but he doesn't have to take a salary because we have our Juice Plus business. Now that's pretty incredible. And what's so great for me is I get to be around this positive, powerful, passionate community that sometimes I need that in order to face the darkness sometimes that we face in Pure Hope Foundation. So I've got this incredible community of powerful, positive people that are passionate and they want to make a difference. They're loving, they're encouraging. You guys know, if you've been with the Juice Plus company more than a month, you've seen the community of people that rise up, and it makes you feel better because the power of community, right? We become the people that we're around. And that's not just an opinion anymore, you guys, that's neuroscience. We become the people that we surround ourselves with. So it's a thing called mirroring. They know now and watch. They literally can do brain scans that watches. If Marilee and I were having a conversation, or Daphne and I were having a conversation, or Pam and I were having a conversation, as we talk, as we form ideas together, your brains start functioning and creating the same networks. Well, what network do you want to create? When you're talking with people, are you creating, or when you're listening to somebody, do you want to become like them? Because we become like the people we're around. What's so cool is I get to hang out with you guys, this amazing community of people, and then take that positivity, that power, that passion, that desire to help make a difference in the world and bring it back to Pure Hope Foundation, because sometimes I need that lift to be able to keep serving in such a challenging area. So it literally is my so that, right? I do Juice Plus so that not just financially, but even in community, I can continue to serve in what I do. So my question for you guys is, what is it for you? I want you to think because we've got, a short amount of time tonight, I want you to think of a few things for yourself. Number one is, how many hours a week are you willing to invest in this business? How many hours a week? It could be 1 hour, it could be 40 hours. Whatever you want to choose. I want you to be realistic. Think about your sleep time. Think about, the time that you want to just snuggle up, and watch a TV show. That's okay, right? Although I've heard some people say TV or PV meaning our PVC, which is what we get paid on. But I still make sure that I get my favorite shows in, right? We want to have fun in this life. We want to relax and enjoy our lives because that's what fuels us. But being around positive people fuels me too. So how many hours a week? Be realistic and commit. Now, in those hours that you put down, I want you to really think about 1 to 2 hours of education, unless you're bringing somebody else to the education with you. The rest of that time, you want to spend talking to other people. We don't want to just be so full of education ourselves that we have tons of knowledge, but yet then we go out and we're not passing that knowledge on to anyone. It doesn't do a lot of good to bottle it all up and have it inside of us if we're not giving it away and inviting other people to connect to it. So right now, right, we have these new tools coming out of conference. How amazing was conference? So, go to thefreedomrevolution.com. Spend an hour or two really getting familiar with the tools. But like tomorrow, I've got a whole group of what's called your open team, meaning people that aren't underneath another leader, aren't underneath another NMD. And while I'm going through that, I'm telling them, get on a Zoom with me. Let's go through it together. Why in the world would I want to just go through it on my own when I can invite somebody to the education with me? So that could be for the product. That could be for the business. So always think, I'm investing an hour solitary, maybe 2 at the most when some new programs come out. But the rest of it should be connecting other people with you to the education, or just simply connecting with people and learning about them and listening for those needs and desires to be able to say to them, hey, I just heard you say this, that you wanted this, you needed that, you would prefer this. I think I have a solution. I think I have something that could give you an option to have that. It could be health or financial. But when we listen and say, I would love to connect you with this person on a 3-way call, or with the education, some information about that, would you be willing to listen? Because when we start mirroring to them, we start dropping ideas and information, then they begin to be inspired for themselves. So commit to your time. Whatever it is, nobody's going to judge whether you're saying 1 hour or 40. That's individually up to you, that you're a franchise owner, but commit to it. Build trust muscles with yourself that you'll show up. We talk about building trust with other people, but I think often we need to build trust with ourselves, that we're the best employee, that we are the best person. And so commit to something, whatever it is, and say, yes, 100%, no matter what, I am showing up. I am going to do that. I am going to follow through. Now, the other thing I want you to do is, when you think about that, I want you to think of a goal, a financial goal or a number of people goal. How many people do you want to impact in the next 30 days, 90 days, 6 months, and a year? So get those points. So the next 30 days, the next 90 days, the next 6 months, and a year. So you can do it in way of income, or you can do it in way of people you want to impact, number of customers or new distributors to your team. But really commit to that. Now, this one is really powerful because this is going to have your brain will start scanning for this if you know that these numbers. And the cool thing is people create a paycheck. So I like to talk about the number of people I want to impact, and I know the paycheck's going to come, right? But some of you need you want a financial amount, or you have somebody in your life you need to prove the financial number to, right? If they saw your paycheck go up by $500, right, then maybe that would be good. Or maybe you want to do something fun and X number of dollars will do that. It doesn't matter, whatever the reward and fulfillment is for you, pay attention to this. Now, this is what's important. Your brain will start scanning. We'll start looking. It's kind of like, do you guys remember if you in your life have been pregnant, or somebody you love has been pregnant, and all of a sudden you start seeing pregnant people everywhere and magazines on pregnancy? Or when all of a sudden you decide you want a new car, even if it's a used car, but it's new for you, and you decide on the make and the model of the car, and then all of a sudden you start seeing them everywhere on the road. Well, there are not more pregnant people in the world, or more pregnancy magazines, and there's not more of that vehicle on the road. It's just your brain has now focused. And if you know the numbers of people, the type of person, the more specific you can get with your brain of what you want, your brain's going to start scanning and seeing that in your life. Now, the important thing with this is to remember you are not in control of that person's decision, so don't get attached to the outcome. So that is your intention is X number of people or X number of dollars or whatever it is that you're wanting to set, but that's your intention. An intention means your brain is seeing it, it's looking for it, but set your goals to be something that you do. And the reason why I say this is a goal is something you're 100% in control of doing. This is Kathrine Lee Goal Setting 101. Okay, goals are something you're 100% in control of doing. Intentions means somebody else has to make a decision. Now, you want to have both intentions, because if you don't have an intention, you don't open up the space that somebody else can step into. But the goals are the things you're in control of. So think about this for a minute. You can say, I want to have 50 customers and 5 new distributors by the end of this in 6 months, right? That's around 10 customers a month, whatever, it is. And 5 new distributors, you can create that, and your brain's going to start scanning and looking for it. And you're going to watch and see all the opportunities. I mean, think of your population of your town right now. It drives me crazy when people say, well, the market's saturated. I always say, what's the population of your city? How many people in your city are actually on Juice Plus? Right? It is not saturated. I can tell you in any market. I live in a town now of 2,500 people. That's 2,500, you guys. I moved from a town between San Diego and Los Angeles. There were more people at my Saturday night church service that live in this whole town, right? And when we moved here, people had heard of Juice Plus. So you could have said it was saturated. We have 3 NMDs in the small surrounding cities around this area. But you know what? There's been a ton. If any of you saw Holly Morris on stage at conference, she lives in this town. And we have been able to watch and pour people into that organization because all of a sudden there was new platform and new opportunity. 2,500 people, guys. There's plenty of opportunity, but people have to have the option and the choice. And they don't have the option and choice if you're not offering it. So just don't get hung up on, if somebody doesn't choose to say yes right away, don't feel like you failed. That's what I see happen with people, is they go, oh, I didn't hit this goal or that goal. No, your goal is how many people are you talking to? How many people are you following up with? If you do your part, I promise you, if you stay consistent and don't quit just because somebody else's outcome, they make a decision different than what you want the outcome to be. That's why it's an intention, not a goal. Don't quit, because I promise you, if you don't quit, they will see your passion. They will see you still care. You still have conversation with them. You're circling back around to them. You never quit on somebody, but you may set it aside and then circle back around to them. But that's where you're going to see your greatest success. So I want you to think of those 2 things, and then I want you to think of this final thing, and that is, you've heard it before, I'm sure, if you've been with the company longer, but you guys, you're talking to somebody who has actually done this. And what I mean by this question, if time and money and you were not an issue, if time and money were not an issue, and I say time, money, and you because I hear a lot of people say, but I don't have enough, I don't have skill, I don't have the knowledge. Well, neither did I. I was 24 years old with a high school education, you guys. So don't worry about you, because the people will come, the resources will come. So if time and money and you were not an issue, what person, cause, or people group would you pour into? What person? It could be your grandchild or your mother. Like, I've got an aging mom now, and I'm so grateful for this business that I have financially and time that I can love on her and provide for her, right? So it may be just one person, cause, or people group. Obviously, we also have Pure Hope Foundation, because my heart got broken over the issue of trafficking, and there was very, very, very little people helping those people. So what is it for you? So I want you to have your own personal goals, the things that mean a lot to you. That's why the money and the individual people building team and more community. You have to have things that are fulfilling for you, but also a bigger piece of you know, if you had a lot, who would you give to? What would you do to impact this world? I'm amazed at the collective generosity of people that give $5 a month to Pure Hope Foundation, or 20 or 40 or $100 a month. And then we have some people that give big, huge gifts. But you know what? The collective generosity adds up to also the big amounts. Just like your PVC, the small PVCs on your paycheck, those people that do a little bit add up to a lot. When you have a bunch of people doing a little bit and then a few people doing a lot, it adds up. And so keep going, you guys. I just want to encourage you, set your intentions each week, set your goals each week, have the things that you care about, that you want to achieve, and then the impact that you're going to make on other people. And you're got the right vehicle. If you would have told me 24 years ago, like I said, when my big giant goal was to make $500 a month, if you would have told me that I would be able to do what I do now in this world, I would have scared me. It would have been too big, honestly. But I got to grow as my business grew. And I always say one happens before the other. Your business will grow and it'll force you to grow, or you can grow as a person and then your business grows. So decide which track you want to take and then continue to join us to make a difference. So Daphne, thank you for having me. I just appreciate you and your team. I got to see some faces that I love so much on this call tonight. So thank you for having me.
Kathrine, thank you so much for gifting us with your wisdom, your heart, and your passion. And as our call is coming to a close, if we really think about it, it's just the beginning of what our team can really do with the inspired message that Kathrine has shared with us. I implore each of us this week to take action with the people we know and care about. Get them on board with the Juice Plus mission of healthy living. Tonight is just the beginning of spreading the word and getting more people engaged. Our job is not done until we actually disseminate the information and invite people to join our healthy revolution. And Kathrine, thanks again so much. We've got just a few minutes. If you guys want to ask a question real quick, feel free to unmute yourself and please ask Kathrine. And I'm going to stop the recording here.